Hey, welcome back. I got a really fun project going this weekend. I'm getting totally forked up. These are a bucket fork attachment for the backhoe. So this box here, it's got some brackets in it that you weld onto your bucket. They hook onto this bar here, and then the forks fit on that bar. So you can put them any space you want. These buckets, or these forks, will carry 8,000 pounds. The backhoe can lift 7. So I figured that gives me a good safety margin. I should never break or bend these or ruin them or anything. And if I can't lift it with the machine, I can't lift it. So what am I using this for? That's the next question you might have. I'll bring you over here and show you. I recently put together this box for firewood. So this is a 4x8 box. I got about half full now, but the skid steer can't carry it. I knew that was going to be the case. I can move it around with my pallet jack right now. The skid steer can only do, I think the boom's rated to lift 1,500 pounds. It's not meant for really heavy lifting because it's a small machine and it flip over, right? So this is what I'm intending to be my new solution for carrying firewood. I've really not liked stacking it on pallets because you gotta be really careful stacking it, and when you move it, everything shifts. You can only move it so many times before the full pile just goes on the floor, and that's really just annoying to have to pick all that up. So this little bunk that I have set up here will hold everything. I can move it around. I can have a lot of wood in here. This holds roughly 1.5 quarts of firewood, which one of those pallets was getting me a week or a week and a half in the long wood, depending on the weather. And those aren't even a full quart of wood. So this should give me, I bring one of these in, that should be 3 or 4 weeks of wood. So I only should have to fill 4 or 5 of these for the year to heat the shop and the house. So let's go ahead. We're gonna unpack the forks and see what we got for hardware. I already know the instructions on how to put it together, but if there's paper ones there, I'll read through them again, make sure there's not anything different. And we'll get this thing set up. Should be a quick, easy project and really worth a lot to me when it's done. They did a really nice job of tying this down to the pallet. Yeah, I can't even get that to, I mean, I'm sure I could get it to flip over, but you certainly don't want it dropping over in the delivery truck. Tell you what, those aren't light. I think each fork weighs maybe 250, 300. All right, so we got some collars that go on the shaft to retain. That makes sense. There's little holes drilled at the end of the shaft to hold those. And there's the brackets to weld on. So when your bucket's up, like you're carrying something, it's like this. Then you just curl it down, go to your bar, lift, and then you've hooked it in there. This is nice. They actually went around with a wheel or something, actually took off the sharp edges off of here. They deburred it. Instead of letting me cut myself up. I really appreciate that. That looks like 3/4 plate. Here's the book. Maybe. No. So this is interesting, right? This is I'm not endorsing these guys, it's just what I bought. This is the only company I found that actually sells these like retail so you can get them. Aero material handling products. I went to their website because they'll actually let you order a custom size forks. Because I didn't want them this 66 inches tall. I just wanted like maybe 42. My bucket opening's only 30. The guy on the phone was real nice and took my name. He said they didn't sell direct, but he'd call a local distributor around here and have them get a hold of me. A week went by, they didn't do anything. So I did find their retail web outlet. It's netforks.com. That's where I ordered these from. So that experience was just fine, and all the stuff's here. It came within like a week and a half of ordering it. But I just thought it was really annoying that these guys just, why didn't they just say, no, we don't do that, go to Netforks and order them there, right? That would have been just fine. The fact that the guy just never called me back or never had anyone call me, it annoys me to no end these days. You try to give people money and they won't even take it. It just blows my mind. So I don't know, take it or leave it, whether you do business with them or not. I wasn't totally happy with the customer service. Unfortunately, it's kind of what we expect these days. So enough rambling about that bull crap. Position the loader bucket so the cutting edge is 2 inches above the floor. And I was like, maybe 6 would be good. With it 66 inches off the ground, that bucket's gonna have to be really high. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to see the end of my forks from the cab. That's my main concern with that. So again, that's really annoying that I just couldn't get shorter forks. They say they custom make them. I assume they only want to make a batch of 1,000 if they do that. So that's probably why, but I wish the guy would just tell me. It's like, really, why not? That's okay. I'm putting the collars on now so I don't put my brackets too close to the end. So I'm giving myself about 3/4 of an inch of slop between the last bracket and the collar, so that it'll be easier to line the machine up and hook this thing. I'm gonna mark these off with chalk. I'm gonna back away from here, put it down. Then I'm gonna measure all my chalk marks and write them down. Then I'm gonna grind it clean with the sanding wheel, so I got a clean surface to weld to. Then I'll measure everything back in where it needs to be and weld it down. And these should land in the same place. Almost. Perfect. All right, just welded up real good. Had to take a little break on the last bracket there. The welder overheated. At least it's got thermal protection in it. I understand the concept of duty cycles and welders, but I hate it when I'm ready to weld. I just want to go. Well, let's hook this up and try it out. You know, one thing I want to do here, actually, while I'm thinking of it, is see what it's like to hook a chain on here. Because I've been debating cutting these tails off, but they're not going to interfere with anything. I really like that, actually. I don't want to hook on here because I don't want to bend these brackets up for grabbing the fork, but around the back like that, that's going to work good. And if you wanted to, yeah, you can tighten things up a little bit if you want. And go around again. Look at that. Yeah. That's real secure. That's better than that eye was. Yeah, I'm not gonna miss that eye one bit. This is good. All right, we'll fire it up and hook the forks on and see about lifting that pile of wood. Well, you can color me surprised. That works really, really well. I can actually see the forks from in the cab, under the bucket, underneath. So that height doesn't bother me at all because I can see where the forks are going and I'll be able to get them in there, no problem. The tilt and adjust and raise and lower all seems real good. Works with the machine just fine. And you can take them off in about 6 seconds. So now I can make more wood boxes and finish cutting on my wood pile. I wanted to make one this size and try it out. So I'll finish filling this and make sure I can still move it around with this thing. I figured out the difference. If I make a wood box this size, I use 64 feet of square tubing. If I make it the same height and just 4 feet by 4 feet, it's 52 feet of steel tubing. So it's not a lot more tubing to make it so much bigger. So I want to be able to stick with that if I can, because that's going to work real good for me around here. So yeah, this has been a successful project, real easy one. Got it done here in about 2 hours. Never goes that way. So I'm happy. This is a great weekend. Thanks for watching.